Computer memory is a memory that is electronic storage space. Primary memory is only for shorter duration. So what is permanent memory? That means whatever the data which is stored read-only memory nature, it is used as secondary storage. Good morning to all. Welcome to my new session. I am Revati, Faculty, Department of Computer Science, Vidyashram First Grade College, Mysore. We are on the 5th session of Output Device. Moving further, in today's class, we are going to discuss computer memory. In computer memory, we are going to discuss what is primary memory and what is secondary memory. So, before going to start my today's session, let me to recall the things which I covered in the last session. In the last session, we studied what is projector, what are the advantage and use of projector. Then we studied two different types of projector. In that, we studied LCD projector and DLP projector. But in today's class, we are going to study what is computer memory. Under computer memory, we are going to study different types of computer memory. Moving further, we are going to study what is computer memory. So, a memory is nothing but a storage space where all the data and informations are stored frequently, and that is accessed by the CPU for further processing. So, the computer memory is a memory that is electronic storage space in computer where the data and informations are stored and that can be easily accessed and processed by the processor. So, the memory is mainly used to store the data and information, and that is requested or required by the processor during the processing of data or information. So, here it stores the data, information, programs during processing in computer. So, memory is a space or area where all the data and informations and programs are stored for processing of computer. Then it stores data either in temporary or in permanent basis. For example, suppose if you want to store the data for temporary, then you can use temporary memory. Suppose if you want to store the data for longer time, then you can able to use permanent memory. So, memory used to important role in saving and retrieving data. So, here memory plays very important role. I repeat, here memory plays very important role. What are the role it is going to perform? It is going to perform saving of data and information. That means it is possible to save user data and information in your computer memory. At the same time, it is also used for retrieving the data. That means it is used to access the data which is stored in computer system. So, there are two type of memory. I repeat, in memory, in computer memory, we are going to get two types of memory. That is primary memory and secondary memory. In today's session, we are going to study, that means we are going to focus only about primary memory. But in tomorrow's session, we are going to deal with secondary storage. So, it is also called non-volatile storage. So, the primary memory is also called main memory, or it is called volatile memory. Whereas the secondary memory is called non-volatile memory. Anyway, we are going to discuss what is volatile memory and non-volatile memory further. So, moving further, we are going to get primary memory. I repeat, primary memory is also called main memory, and the capacity of main memory is small comparing to secondary storage or secondary memory. So, the primary memory is also called volatile memory. So, primary memory is internal memory. I repeat, the primary memory is internal memory and it is present in your CPU. That is, it is an internal memory of the computer. It is also known as temporary memory or main memory. Dear students, please remember that the primary memory is also known as temporary memory. That means whatever the instruction and data which is stored in the primary memory is for shorter duration. That is only for temporary usage. So, the primary memory holds data and instruction which computer is currently working. I repeat, the main use of primary memory here is it holds the data and instruction that is currently being used by the computer system. So whatever the execution is going in your computer system, all the instructions are stored in primary memory. So I repeat, here primary memory holds, that means stores the data and instruction on which the computer is currently working. So primary memory is nature or in volatile. I repeat, the primary memory in nature, it is volatile. Volatile means what? Temporary. So it means that when the power is switched off, it lost all the data. So when you are going to switch off your computer system, whatever the data or instruction which is stored in your primary memory is going to lost. So it is called temporary memory. That means the data which is stored in the primary memory is only for shorter duration. So here RAM, that is random access memory, is one of the example or type of primary memory. In general, while discussing, in general, we are going to say the primary memories are divided into two types, that is RAM and ROM. But in actually the ROM, the nature of RAM here is volatile. I repeat, the nature of RAM is volatile. So, it is considered under the primary memory. So, whereas the nature, the working nature of ROM is non-volatile. Dear students, moving further, we are going to study RAM, that is random access memory. The name itself indicates that you can able to perform both the operation. That is, you can able to read the data and at the same time you can able to write the data. So here it is also called read-write memory. I repeat, the random access memory is also called read-write memory. That means, so you can able to perform both the operation on random access memory. That means you can able to read the data, at the same time you can able to alter or modify, or you can able to write the data. So this random access memory is called read and write memory. So it is generally referred as main memory of the computer. Dear students, please remember that the RAM is your primary memory in your computer system. Certain times you may get the question that what is your primary memory in your computer system? That time It is RAM, that is random access memory. So it is a temporary memory. It is a temporary memory. How to justify it is a temporary memory? Dear student, before going to execute any data or instruction in your computer system, think that all the data and instructions are stored in your secondary storage. So before going to execute, that data or instruction must brought into the main memory, that is RAM. So after the execution, after the completion of every processing, once again the result is stored in the RAM. So it is a temporary memory. So the information stored in the computer, that means the information which is stored in the memory is lost as the power supply to the computer is switched off. That means the information which is stored in your RAM is present only up to when you are going to turn off your computer system or switch off your computer system. So the information which is stored in the memory is lost as the power supply to the computer is switched off. That's why it is called volatile memory. So here volatile means what? Erase. Okay, so the content of the RAM is going to erase when you turn off or switch off your computer system. That means when there is no power supply to your computer system. So there are two types of RAM. I repeat, in random access memory, you're going to get two types of RAM. In that first one, static RAM and dynamic RAM. Moving further, what is static RAM? So here static RAM is also called SRAM. I repeat, the static RAM is also called SRAM. So the SRAM retain stored information as long as the power supply is on. What's the meaning? That means in static RAM, the information is stored only. The duration here is as long as your power supply is on. That much time you can able to store your data or information in the static RAM. I repeat, a static RAM is also called SRAM, but the content is stored only for shorter duration. That means how long you're going to provide power supply to your computer system. So as long as the power supply is on, then static RAM are of high cost and consumes more power. That means the amount required to purchase static RAM is high and it consumes high power. That means high voltage. Then they have higher speed than dynamic RAM. That means the execution speed of static RAM is compared with dynamic RAM is high. That means the static RAM execution speed is high when it compared with dynamic RAM. Moving further, we are going to get another type, that is dynamic RAM. So dynamic RAM is also known as DRAM. I repeat, the dynamic RAM is also known as DRAM. It stores information in a very short time. That is, it is measured in terms of few milliseconds. Just imagine what is few milliseconds. That means it is a very, very shorter time. And in dynamic RAM, you want to refresh your dynamic RAM frequently. That means refreshment is required in dynamic RAM is very high. That means refreshment ratio is very high. So frequently you need to refresh your dynamic memory. So here dynamic memory is also called DRAM. It stores information in a very short time, as few milliseconds, even though power supply is on. That means whatever the data which is stored in your dynamic memory, that is going to available only for few milliseconds. Suppose even though your system is on, that means your power is on, then the dynamic RAM is cheaper and moderate speed, and they also consumes very less power. When you compare your dynamic RAM with static RAM, okay, it is cheaper and the speed is moderate, and it consumes less power than static RAM. Moving further, we are going to get secondary memory. So what is secondary memory? It is a backup memory. Secondary memory means what? Backup memory. But a secondary memory is a external memory of the computer. So it is a external device or external memory of the computer, and it is also known as auxiliary memory or permanent memory. Secondary memory that is going to give longer life for your information and instructions. Dear students, the secondary memory is also called external memory, and it is mainly used for backup purpose. So it is used to store the different programs and information permanently. So whatever the information you want to store for a longer life, then you can able to use secondary memory, that is non-volatile. What is non-volatile? That means whatever the information or data which is stored in your secondary storage device, that is applicable for a longer time, even though the computer is turned off. So the secondary memory is nature non-volatile, that means permanent. It means the data is stored permanently even if power is switched off. That means even if your computer is turned off. Then the example for non-volatile memory is ROM, that is read-only memory. So the read-only memory is used as secondary memory. I repeat, because of read-only memory nature, it is used as secondary storage or secondary memory. So what is read-only memory? So the read-only memory is also called non-volatile memory. So here ROM stands for read-only memory, and it is a permanent type of memory. So it is called permanent memory. So the contents are not lost when the power supply or when you turn off your computer system. So the content of the RAM is received by that means the content of the RAM is decided by the computer manufacturer. I repeat, whatever content which is present in your read-only memory, that is decided by the computer manufacturer, and it is permanently stored at the time of manufacturing. So here I repeat that whatever the content which is stored in your read-only memory, that is returned during the manufacturing of read-only memory. So it is permanent memory, and all the instruction or data which is stored at that time is kept for permanent. So ROM, I repeat, read-only memory cannot be overwritten by the computer. So whatever the read-only memory we have, that is cannot be overwritten, or that is cannot be written by the computer system. So the read-only memory is called read memory. That means we can able to read the content which is present in your read-only memory. So it is also called volatile memory. It is also called volatile memory. That means the content which is present in your read-only memory does not get erased, even though when you switch off your computer system or when you turn off your power supply. So, dear students, where you can able to find read-only memory. So, all the program which is stored or written in read-only memory is permanent. So, whatever the instruction or data or program required by the computer to start up, that is written in read-only memory. So, the instruction which is written during the manufacturing of the ROM, whatever the data or instruction required by the computer system to start up the computer system, that is booting up your computer system, that is stored in your read-only memory. So it is also called permanent memory. Moving further, we are going to get 5 different types of read-only memory. So it is masked read-only memory, then it is programmable read-only memory, then it is called erasable programmable read-only memory. The 4th type is electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, and last one, it is flash memory. So what is masked ROM? That is read-only memory. So here masked read-only memory is also called software mask. So masked ROM, it's also called MROM, is a chip that contains a software mask. That contains a software mask, and that is burned onto the chip. I repeat, it's already burnt. That means it is already stored on the chip during the designing phase. Okay, so dear students, just remember that when they start designing masked RAM, they are going to burn some program and instruction on your chip. That is called software mask. That is called software mask. So that is done during the designing phase of the semiconductor manufacturing process. So that is done during the designing phase of semiconductor manufacturing process. So a MROM is a chip are produced by arranging transistor. That means MROM is a chip that is produced by arranging transistors before the semiconductor manufacturing process actually begins. So the MROM chips are used in computer systems. So further, we are going to get another type of ROM, that is PROM. What is P here stands for? P stands for programmable read-only memory. So the PROM is also called programmable ROM. So here PROM chips are write data once and read many times. That means in PROM, it's possible to write the data once and you can able to read the data n number of times. That is read many. The chip has been programmed. That means once the chip has been programmed, the recorded information cannot be changed. I repeat, once the chip has been written, then whatever the things you have written, that cannot be changed in PROM, that is programmable read-only memory. Then the PROM is also non-volatile memory. That means whatever the data or information which is stored in your PROM, that cannot be erased even though the computer is turned off. So in programmable read-only memory, in PROM, the data is written only once and the user can able to read the data many times. So while writing the data, please make sure that don't make any mistake during the writing procedure. So why? Because it supports write once and read many times nature. Moving further, we are going to get EPROM, that is erasable programmable read-only memory. I repeat, EPROM means programmable read-only memory. So, EPROM chip can be programmed time and again by erasing the information stored early in it. For example, consider that the EPROM contains some data or information. So there is no storage space to save new data or instruction. In that time, by using EPROM, in EPROM, you can able to rewrite the data. That means the user can able to rewrite the data in EPROM. So, EPROM chip can be programmed. I repeat, EPROM chip can be programmed again by erasing the information which is stored early in it. I repeat, so here EPROM chip can be programmed and it is done or it is achieved by erasing the previously written data. So the information stored in EPROM exposing the chip for some time ultraviolet light. That means in EPROM, the information or data can be erased by using ultraviolet light. So moving further, we are going to get electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. I repeat, it is a electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. So here the EPROM, that is EEPROM, that is electrically erasable programmable read-only memory is programmed and erased by a special electrical waves in millisecond. That means by using electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, you can able to erase the data by using electrical waves in millisecond. So the single byte of data or the entire content of the device can be erased. That means if you want to erase smaller portion of data, then it is possible in electrically erasable read-only memory. Suppose if you want to erase or if you want to remove the entire information or data, that is also achieved by using electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, and that is achieved by using electrical waves. That means electrical waves in millisecond. So moving further, we are going to get flash memory. What is flash memory? Where you can able to see this memory. So these flash memories are used in mobile phones, digital cameras, computer system, etc. So then what is flash memory? So here flash memory is also known as flash storage. It is a high-speed, frequently used memory. I repeat, a flash memory is also called flash storage. It is a type of non-volatile memory that erases data in units called blocks. So this flash memory is also called non-volatile. That means it is a permanent memory. Here it is possible to erase the data, but it's possible to erase a data block-wise. A block stored on a flash memory chip must be erased before data can be returned or programmed to the microchip. So, dear students, please remember that in flash memory, it is possible to erase the data only when before you're going to write the data to the microchip. I repeat, it is possible to erase the block or data in flash memory only when before the data can be returned to the microchip. So, the flash memory retains data for an extended period of time. So, in flash memory, it's possible to store the data and instruction for some specific, that means extended period of time. Flash memory, the data remains only for extended period of time regardless of whether a flash equipped device is turned off or turned on. So some of the example for flash storage is digital camera, then mobile phones, computer devices, etc. So, dear students, the read-only memory is also called non-volatile memory. Then, where you can able to find read-only memory? So, the read-only memory contains some predefined information or instruction. So, that is stored on the chip for a permanent basis. So, when the data and instructions are written onto the chip during the manufacturing process. So, then the example for ROM, that is read-only memory, is, that means where you can able to find read-only memory, that is in your washing machine, or you can consider microwave. These are some of the areas you can able to find ROM. So now tell me the difference between RAM and ROM. Tell me the difference between ROM and RAM. So RAM is primary storage device, where ROM comes under secondary because of its nature. What kind of nature? It is non-volatile. For that reason, it comes under secondary. But in generally, it is a part of primary memory. So, primary memory comes in two types, ROM and RAM. So, it is volatile in nature, whereas ROM is non-volatile. Then whatever the instruction or data being processed by the computer, that is stored in your random access memory. Whereas in your read-only memory, it contains the data or instruction that is stored during the manufacturing. So example is your computer bootstrap. Then the speed, The execution speed of random access memory is high comparatively read-only memory. Then the memory capacity of random access memory is very less compared to read-only memory. Then coming under random access memory, we are going to get two types of memory, that is static random access memory and dynamic random access memory. Whereas in your read-only memory, here we are going to get five types. One is masked read-only memory, then programmable read-only memory, then erasable programmable read-only memory, then electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, and at the end we are going to get flash memory. So these are the some of the difference between RAM and ROM. Moving further, we are going to get the difference between primary memory and secondary memory. So dear students, just remember that in today's session we studied or we discussed primary memory, but in my tomorrow's session I'm going to discuss secondary memory. That means in my next session I'm going to discuss secondary memory, but today's session I'm going to give the difference between primary memory as well as secondary memory. So what are the difference comes between primary memory and secondary memory? Let's see one by one. So the primary memory is also called temporary memory. That means the data or instruction which is stored in your computer system is going to erase when you power off your computer system or when you turn off your computer system. But whereas in your secondary memory, the secondary memory is permanent. That means whatever the data or instruction is stored in your permanent memory, that is kept for long time, but you want to remember the file name, that is enough. Then what is the second difference here? The second difference here is the primary memory is directly accessed or accessible by processor or CPU. That means before going to execute any program or any instruction, the data or instruction or program must be brought from secondary storage to main memory, that is your primary memory. So here primary memory is directly accessible by processor or CPU, whereas the secondary memory is not directly accessed by the CPU. The next difference is in nature part, the primary memory, that is random access memory, is volatile and ROM is non-volatile. Primary memory, we are going to get two types, that is RAM and ROM. So RAM is volatile in nature, whereas ROM is non-volatile in nature. Then moving further, the secondary memory is also in non-volatile by its nature. Then moving further, the difference for the next difference of primary memory is the primary memory devices are more expensive than secondary storage device. That means to buy primary memory you required more cost comparatively secondary memory, whereas the cost required to purchase secondary memory devices is very less. Then the next difference is the memory devices used for primary memories are semiconductor memory. That means whatever the devices are used to manufacture primary memory is semiconductor memory, whereas in secondary memory it is mainly based on magnetic and optical memories. The last difference with respect to primary memory is the primary memory is also known as main memory or internal memory, whereas the secondary memory is known as external memory or auxiliary memory. So dear students, please remember that from the examination point of view, the storage unit is very important. So I hope today's session we studied what is memory and the type of memory. In that we discussed what is primary memory and what is secondary memory. But today's session we discussed the different types of primary memory. In primary memory, we are going to get two types of memory, that is RAM and ROM. So in RAM, we studied static RAM and dynamic RAM. Under ROM, we studied 5 different types of ROM. Dear students, in my next session, I am going to discuss secondary storage device. Under secondary storage device, we are going to study magnetic tape, magnetic disk and floppy disk. I hope in today's class you got more information about storage device. I hope you enjoyed my session. Dear students, thank you for watching my session. Let's meet in the next session. Until then, take care. Thank you.